Manga Shakeout here in the workshop. I want to showcase a build I've done, and I'm going to have to welcome you to my unexpected guest in the workshop, the Cricket here. It has been going non-stop like this for 30 minutes. So we're just going to have to live with it. It's new guests. It's the workshop Cricket. It's my second mascot. Of course, we have Whiskers, who's been around for years in videos and randomly. So now we got a Cricket again. Had one last year. I don't know if it's the same one or not. I don't think they have that long of a lifespan. But I'm here to showcase a build I've worked on that I'm actually pretty proud of, to be honest. It's not the highest power, but it does have good power for what it is. And it also has very, very good accuracy for plinking cans, because soda cans have met their fate at the hands of this. But what this is I don't do very many integrations. This is an integration. And it is, quite simply, an integration of a Recon, and here's your other telltale sign, a Buzz Bee Jaguar. So we got a Buzz Bee Jaguar, made it up to a Nerf Recon, the original, the old Recon CS6, and I did that so I could have a mag-fed Buzz Bee Jaguar. And I did this all myself with a few different techniques that I will share. I'm not going to go into depth and showing you the insides or anything, because it's basically my own hand-cut breech. As you can see through there is my own hand-cut breech running a 7-inch barrel, and it's on the whole rear of this is 100% still a Buzz Bee Jaguar. They have a very nice chunky plunger tube for such a small sidearm, and it's basically remained the same outside of I went back to the plunger tube and I attached a 9/16 brass breech that feeds into a 17/32 barrel. And the breech work is done on the barrel side. And I have a little nub. It'd be hard to see down in there, but maybe just barely see it. But there's a little nub that helps to push the dart forward into, and it also helps prevent vacuum loading, helps push the dart into the barrel. And it's spaced back far enough that it only comes into contact with the barrel on full closure of the breech. It has very, very good air seal, actually. I'll do a showcase of that here real quick. We'll put that forward, and I will keep quiet. I can't tell the Cricket to keep quiet; it won't work. But here we go. Do that again, and 1001, 1002. 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 8, 9, and 10. It's holding air for at least 10 seconds, which I consider that to be pretty good work. I'm not a professional brass breech maker, but I think I did a pretty good job on this one. And I also kept the jam door working, because the one thing I haven't quite worked yet, and I will have to do, I left a lot of the Buzz Bee Jaguar front end intentionally. I am going to either use a screw to fasten in some sort of a magazine stop, because right now I kept the jam door so that as I load a magazine, I can go and basically judge the distance. Let's prime the blaster, and I can judge the distance to make sure I've got it set at the right height, because I didn't work in a hard stop, and I should have. But this works just as well, because once you set the height of the magazine, it hits the catch and you're good to go. I just don't want to accidentally jam the magazine way up too high and cause damage. But I was running it with a Fretz Foamworks AccuRatio. As you can see here, AccuRatio Mark II, or Mark III. Yeah, it's the Mark III. And I have that. I'm running it on for my chronograph test, because this is going to stay on it. Need to actually get a couple more of these. But I was running this, and let's leave this open so you can see the feeding. It feeds very reliably. I've had no issues. And it shoots at around, muzzle velocity is around 142 average. I'll put up a screenshot here, but I was getting ranges between about 139 to 148 on the high. The little screenshot of 5 shots I think has 139 to 146. So it averages right in the low 140s, which is pretty good for a 8 kilogram turf blaster spring. That is what's powering this. One of my very, very last turf blaster springs. I need to get more of those. That's my favorite spring. I liked it even more than the Orange Modworks 8 kilogram that I used to run in basically everything. And then I bought workers for, I bought worker just simply because of cost. And just keep loading it. It loads very reliably. It actually is very quiet too. There's a few shots for you. And that actually still works perfectly. Now, to describe a couple of the techniques that I used, so I can get onto that, the actual magwell is a worker magazine adapter from full length down to half length, so I can use their magazines. And I actually epoxied that in place. This is 100% dedicated to short darts, as it should be. And then to integrate it, this is not epoxy. There was actually screws used inside to hold the pieces together, and then I used the solvent welding to the extreme. I took a stainless steel container, and in an acetone bath, I melted down plastic pieces from other blasters and melted them down to where they became liquid plastic. And then I, using heavy or thick stir sticks, I simply pushed it in as putty over the screws that are there that I used to hold it together, and then I got that smoothed out as good as I could, and then sanded it with my Dremel on both sides, and that actually became the smoothest part of the whole blaster. It originally was humped up pretty high, and I just kept putting more plastic in, more plastic in. I prepped both sides of the shell, both the Recon front and the Jaguar back, with some acetone themselves to make them tacky. And then I put in the melted plastic and just kept pushing it down and smoothing it around. And then finally sanded it all and then prepped it for the Hydro Dip, which of course is the orange and black with a touch of white of Mongoose colors. So this is my personal sidearm, and it's going to stick into, I keep saying I'm going to have an event, and I want to have a group, a bigger group here on a regular basis instead of the impromptu stuff we do. But a group that has 150 FPS, which is the next closest to where I live, is 150 FPS capped group. I wanted to keep it under that. Now, of course, this could handle, the Jaguar catch is heavier duty than other Buzz Bee catches. It could probably handle a 9 or 10, maybe 12 kilogram pretty good. I would say the 9 or 10, it could probably handle that, long term, and the 12 kilogram, you're probably going to end up having to replace the catch every once in a while as you wear it out or break it. And, of course, you can just get a Buzz Bee Jaguar and replace it with a brand new catch. Or if I wanted to go all in, take the catch I've got and take it to a machine shop and have them machine a metal one. And then, of course, you run the risk of wearing out your plunger rod. But you can always, as long as Buzz Bee keeps making the Jaguar, I can keep sourcing parts for this. But that's neither here nor there. It was a fun build to make, and it was probably the most in-depth I've went on a full-on build, doing all my own handwork on the breech and doing a full integration of the Nerf Recon into the Buzz Bee Jaguar. And it ended up with a, moderate power half dart mag fed pistol. And it's a lot more work than what you would expect, but it's really satisfying to do this kind of work. I see people who are talking about how modding, there's no reason to mod something like a Retaliator anymore, or a Recon, or anything else. But there still is. This is special. I mean, Could you just go buy a Aeon Pro and get the exact same performance with no effort, and it would be cheaper? Yes, of course you could. This basically is a Buzz Bee Aeon Pro with a lot of work put into it to get it to here. But that work was very satisfying and fun to see the conclusion of it. And yes, I could still put Nerf attachments on it if I want to, and I might in the end. But for now, I want the I actually like that exposed barrel and the AccuRatio scar on it. Makes it very accurate up to about 50-60 feet. I can plink an empty soda can no problem at that range, which means at typical engagement ranges that we have here with small groups, I can easily hit a target from about 100 feet away without any issue. I could probably hit further away, but of course it is in the 140 FPS range, so ultra long range isn't going to be possible with this. But I have other 200 FPS blasters if I really need it. This was just a fun project to do it, to take a Jaguar, make it mag-fed, and go with something that, even on just something as simple as an 8 kilogram turf blaster spring, I've got something that is 100% functional, easy to prime, and yes, everything works smooth so far. I've fired about 100 shots through it, maybe 120, but roughly about that, and I've had no issues of any kind, and it loads smoothly, great air seal, and a nice little pop to it. But just wanted to showcase a mod that I've been working on behind the scenes, and here it is finally. My integrated Buzz Bee Jaguar that's now mag-fed. I don't want to lay too many crazy claims, but I think that this may be the best Jaguar anybody's ever made. I don't know, is that too crazy? I don't know anybody else who's put this much effort into one, so I might have the title of the world's best Jaguar. Can I title the video that? Let's go for it. But hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed my rambling. Thanks for watching.